On these frozen alpine slopes, a herd of mountain goats begins its day, moving calmly across snow, stone and wind-carved rock. Here, where every step can matter, the herd spreads across the mountain, feeding quietly, while a few adults keep watch above. Winter still clings to the cracks in the stone, but beneath the snow, small tufts of grass keep the herd alive. Among the adults, the young stay close, learning the mountain not through words, but by watching each careful step. A thick white coat protects them from the cold, but their real strength lies below, in black hooves built for rock. The kid stands beneath its mother, small against the vast mountain, but close enough to feel protected by the herd. The mother moves slowly, choosing each foothold with care, and the young one follows, learning balance from every step. Up close, the mountain goat looks perfectly shaped for this world, rough fur, dark horns, and calm, watchful eyes. Beneath the heavy coat, split hooves grip the uneven ground, while a young face begins to trust the cold stone below. One goat pauses apart from the herd, lowering its head to feed, then lifting its gaze across the silent slope. It moves with quiet power, testing the ground before each step, carrying its weight carefully across rock and snow. The path narrows beside the cliff. The mother goes first, and the kid follows close, where precision means survival. When the trail becomes too narrow, the herd forms a single line, each goat following the steps of the one before. After the ledge, the pace softens again. An adult feeds, while the smaller goat stays near, learning where life remains. Along the cliff wall, the herd crosses a blade-thin path of snow, trusting hooves, balance, and memory. From far away, the mountain seems empty and harsh, but to these goats, every stone is part of a hidden map. Small white shapes appear between rock and snow, almost disappearing into the mountain, perfectly matched to this frozen world. One adult stands above the herd, still and alert, while the others lower their heads and gather strength from the slope, where the grass is exposed. The herd spreads out, feeding slowly, taking only what the mountain offers. At ground level, the story is in the hooves, each black split hoof gripping stone beneath the thin snow. The kid returns to its mother's side, staying slightly lower on the slope, where the path is safer and easier to read. The herd moves like a slow white current across the rocks, each animal separate, yet held together by the group. High above the others, one goat stands against the grey sky, a silent lookout over the feeding herd below. Every goat moves differently, a lowered head, a turning ear, a shifting hoof, together forming the rhythm of the mountain. The young one remains close to the adult, smaller, lower, but learning with every careful step across the slope. Even when the herd is gone, its path remains written in the snow, dark hoofprints marking the morning's journey. Beside its mother, the kid feeds from a small patch of grass, gaining strength for the next ledge ahead. The mother lifts her head briefly, checking the quiet slope, then lowers it again, because alertness here never truly ends. The herd spreads across the rocky ground once more, each goat choosing a place to stand, feed and keep balance. A young face fills the frame, searching among gravel and dry grass, surrounded by the warm closeness of the herd. A white muzzle passes close to the lens, not curious, not afraid, simply feeding from the cold face of the mountain. The wider herd returns, white bodies across grey stone, turning snow, grass and gravel into a modest mountain meal. One goat stands high on a rock, bright against the sky, watching while the others continue to feed below. No two animals stand the same way. Each body adjusts to the uneven ground, finding its own balance on the slopes. The herd begins to climb, hind legs pushing upward, bodies rising slowly over stone, one careful step at a time. Then the herd turns toward the camera, black horns and calm white faces appearing through the cold mountain air. After crossing the gravel, the herd slows again, walking, stopping, feeding, watching, then moving forward once more. A hoof firmly on stone, then the frame reveals a goat resting low, saving warmth against the cold ground. One goat stands near the resting animal, quiet and steady, because on this mountain, closeness is a kind of protection. Across the grey slope, the herd stretches into a white line, following shared experience more than any single leader. Among the adults, the young nearly disappear, small but surrounded, weaker alone, stronger inside the living wall of the herd. The kid crosses thin snow behind its mother, slower than the adults, but more confident than before. The slope opens wider and the herd spreads into a slow white stream, moving as if the mountain itself were breathing. An adult appears close in the foreground, calm eyes, curved horns, and the quiet confidence of an animal that understands danger. From behind, the route rises again, snow, grass, stone, and one higher step waiting ahead. For a moment, only the mountain remains, cracked rock, broken snow, dry grass, the true stage of their lives. The herd returns across the incline, some feeding, some watching, while the young slip safely between larger bodies. The mother lowers her head again, and the kid follows, learning where food can still be found among the stones. A quieter moment opens on the rock. Two adults move steadily, their white coats bright against the cold ground. Two goats stop and look toward the camera, not frightened, only alert, belonging completely to this cliffside world. One goat steps across a slanted slab of rock, where even standing seems difficult, yet for it, rock is the path. The herd gathers where food is available, heads lowering together, white coats filling the frame with quiet mountain life. Two adults stand close, and below them, a smaller young goat moves carefully, still a student of the cliff. The mother lowers her head near the kid, a small gesture, but enough to keep the young one calm. The herd opens across the slope again, each goat choosing its place, while the mountain pulls them upward and across. The space widens, and the herd becomes small against sky and stone, tiny lives making the mountain feel alive. The mother leads across another stretch of rock and snow, while the kid follows closer now, growing with every step. The journey turns upward again, the herd climbing like a white stream, while the young stays protected between larger bodies. Among the white coats, a darker figure appears higher on the slope, noticed by the herd, but causing no panics. The frame returns to a calm white face, shaped by snow, wind, stone, and a lifetime of balance. For a moment, the pace quickens. A smaller goat crosses a rocky step, landing cleanly and moving on. Then the scene settles again. One goat rests on the cold rock, while others stand nearby and continue feeding. The standing goat remains close, quiet and steady, while the herd shares space, warmth and watchfulness. The camera drops to the hooves again, black hoof, white fur, small stones, the details that make cliff life possible. At the end, the camera pulls back, and the herd fades into stone, snow, and low cloud, still walking, still living, still enduring.